It's Redbeard, Redbeard. It's a shame this movie's in black and white, because then you can really see that his beard is red. Or maybe not. I don't know how it would come out, but it's Kurosawa, so it's amazing. That's his name. There it is right there. There's Kurosawa. Hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection reviewer guy with his own red beard of sorts. Yeah. Oh god, the things I do for you people. Anyway, number 159, Redbeard, another Kurosawa jam. Yeah, so 1965, 185 minutes, Japanese and Kurosawa. And Toshiro Mifune. That's my boy. There's your boy, Mifune. Actually, this is his last role that he did with Kurosawa. Apparently, like, the beard that he had, like, I guess it was, like, too much for him, and, like, he had to maintain it, so Mifune couldn't work on any other films because of the fact that he had to keep his beard this color for Kurosawa's film, and I guess, and then Kurosawa says that apparently, like, his performance wasn't that great, so he didn't pursue him for any more films, so it's a shame that this was the last one they worked on together. And this is also apparently Kurosawa's final black and white film, which is funny because, you know, it would have been a perfect shot to show the red beard, you know. Yeah, it's 1965 too. A lot of films were in color. This is funny that Kurosawa was still working in black and white at this time. But yeah, so anyway, let's talk a little bit about it, because there's not much to say, because it's kind of hard to describe it without watching it yourself. So it's about this little village and this young doctor whose name is, what is his name? Noboru Yasumoto. Comes to pay respects to this famous doctor whose name is Kyojiro Nide, or who's nicknamed Akahije, which is Redbeard, because his beard is sort of has a reddish color to it. And Kyojiro totally just takes him in and says, "Hey, here you go work with me." And Yasumoto says, like, "Oh no, I don't want to." So he runs away and he, like, refuses to wear his uniform until, like, much later in the film, and he really can't stand this guy because he's like a dictator, a doctor sort of guy. But he's really just one of those, like, really compassionate guys who's just kind of a dick to all his coworkers, So yeah, so he reluctantly joins, and he goes around and kind of gets him into trouble. He gets trapped with this, like, insane woman who tries to kill him, and, like, is like this. I think she's like a nymphomaniac and a killer, and he witnesses the deaths of these two, like, really famous people in the village. This one guy who tells, like, this really long story. What's his name? Sahachi. He tells a story about, like, when he found this, like, body of this woman, and yeah, it's a little confusing. It's really distracting too. I think it's kind of deters from the whole movie in itself. But so yeah, I kind of didn't care much for that bit. But still, I mean, but still, it's a really pretty cool movie. But yeah, the last half of the movie, because there's an intermission between it, probably because it's 3 hours long, focuses on Akahije and Yasumoto going off to this brothel to rescue this 12-year-old girl named Otoyo, who has been abused there. And funny enough, this movie is probably not as popular with other audiences, with Kurosawa audiences, as his other ones, especially, and it's probably the most different movie we've seen, because it's much less reliant on action compared to the other ones. This one's more about emotion and dialogue. The only real action scene we see is when Otoyo is rescued and the guards try to attack him, and the two doctors have to fight them off. And so yeah, so no, that's basically the only action scene. But you think of all the other Criterion movies we've had: Seven Samurai, Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, Sanjuro. Even High and Low has action, but it's more modern action. But it's still like it's about what's going on, and gunplay and all that. But yeah, this movie's just more about the dialogue and storytelling and all that. It's not about just fighting and all that stuff. So it's a little different, a little out there, but maybe, you know, I think it probably says that Kurosawa was maturing as a director. I don't know, or maybe it's the fact that it was based on a short story that, you know, probably was less about action. But Kurosawa being Kurosawa had to throw a little bit of something, a little bit of his old style in there. So there you go. And yeah, so the last half is basically Yasumoto is taking care of the girl, and he ends up getting sick. And when she gets better, she ends up taking care of him. And yeah, it's a whole lot of trippy stuff. And Yasumoto ends up really liking Akihige, and yeah, he ends up, I think, ends up marrying his daughter, and so yeah, and basically that's how the movie ends. And yeah, it's more of a movie about emotion than more emotion about action. So yeah, it's more about like the stories and, you know, the little, you know, the emotion and compassion and all that. So yeah, it's a little different. It's definitely not my favorite. In fact, I don't know if it's probably my least favorite curse. It might be my least favorite now. I mean, I'm like I said, there's still plenty more to go, but I think right now, just because it's just so polarizingly different compared to everything else. If Criterion had eased its way into a more emotional film, like, you know, like, but just considering the last one we saw was, I think, The Hidden Fortress. I think. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. Yeah, this one is just so much more different than the others. So yeah, I have to say, this is probably my least favorite so far. It's still great. It's still Kurosawa. It's still Mifune, you know, but it's just so much more different, and it definitely requires another watch. So maybe when I rewatch it, but for now, I'm gonna give it a B plus, because it's just not everything else he's done, you know. And so yeah, I have to say it's probably my least favorite so far, but still not a bad movie. I do want to see it again. It's Kurosawa, and he's amazing, and his style still shines, you know, so much in this movie. But it's just so different, and that's why I'm just like, I can't give it anything else more than a B plus right now. So there you are. That's Redbeard. A good movie, a different movie if you're a fan of Kurosawa, and if you watch the Kurosawa's films up to this point in Criterion order, you know, you figure you start off with Seven Samurai, the most like action-packed film of all time, you know, and then suddenly you come to this, and it's like, wait, whoa, you know. I mean, I guess Hidden Fortress kind of played on that. There's more humor, but I don't know. Anyway, Redbeard, B plus. There you go. Supplements, only trailer. That's it. I guess they forego supplements for this one so they could fit the whole movie on one disc. Anyway, so that's it. Tomorrow and Tuesday we got 2 René Clair movies. We got Anu la Liberté tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll do Under the Roofs of Paris, and Thursday Ratcatcher. Finally got Ratcatcher. And then the next 5 are on their way: Hopscotch, Solaris, Man Bites Dog, Down by Law, and Monterey Pop are on their way. And I'm excited because, well, I'm excited for Monterey Pop. And yeah, I'm still hoping that my brother and his girlfriend can review Man Bites Dog with me. Not sure. We don't know I don't know their schedule versus mine, and I probably won't get to Man Bites Dog until probably till like 2 weeks from now. It'll be probably, I don't know, and it depends on what day they are. There may come a Sunday or a Thursday when you won't have a review for me because I gotta space them out due to their schedule. But yeah, I'll keep the Mondays. I'll keep Mondays going because I did say that earlier that I want to do at least one review every week, and it'll be on a Monday. But even though I didn't do it 2 weeks ago, but that was something else. I was out of town and I couldn't do a review. So yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Don't Redbeard. Don't get sick, and don't kidnap 12-year-old girls to work in brothels. And oh, that second one was really good. I like that one, man. I'm a genius. Anyway, that's it for this. So thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for Anus la Liberté. And until then, goodbye.